What's up, guys? If you land on this video, that means you're probably doing a little bit of research on lithium batteries for your kayak fish finder. Well, you are in luck, because today we are going to take a close look at these 6 fish finder batteries. Let's get nerdy with it.
Asshole power! Get you some.
If you're new here, I'm Jeremy with isopower.com. Welcome to the channel. Now in the comments below, let me know what battery you are running in your fish finder. We are going to capacity test and do a cost analysis on these 6 batteries. Dakota Lithium 7 amp hour, Dakota Lithium 10 amp hour, the Amped Outdoors 12 amp hour, the Amped Outdoors 18 amp hour, the Norsk 15 amp hour, and the Nokwa 10 amp hour. Do me a favor, guys. Make sure you hit that like button, that thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out a lot. Now we are going to capacity test each one on this capacity tester here. Not so much pitting one against the other as far as how long they last. We are going after the true amp hour rating of each battery. Make sure what they're saying on their batteries is actually what they're rated for. There's some winners and losers here. There's some that did not meet my expectations, and we'll get into that. Okay, first up is the Dakota Lithium 7 amp hour battery. The Dakota Lithium 7 amp hour battery weighs in at 2 pounds, 4.3 ounces. Now, full disclosure about Dakota Lithium, I really like the company. As a matter of fact, a couple years ago, one of the promotional guys reached out to me and asked me to help them design their kayak power box. So, if you've seen their kayak power box, I'm the guy that developed it for them, designed it for them. And that's why this test right here is kind of tough for me, because the 7 amp hour battery didn't really perform like I had hoped it would. So let's dive into it. I've got 3 capacity tests I ran with 3 different batteries, and it just did not hit the 7 amp hour mark. As you can see, our voltage is dropping out, and we finished up this test with 6.82 amp hours. On to round 2. This is a different battery, same tester. I should also mention the reason the battery goes down to 0 is because there's a protection circuit inside the BMS that protects from low voltage cell damage. I also charged up all these batteries, all the lithium iron phosphate batteries, with the same charger. So we had the same amount of energy going into every battery. So right here, you see she's starting to drop. And we are going to finish this test at 6.78 amp hours. Again, we missed our mark. I tried giving this battery every opportunity, so I ran another test. Different battery, different testing unit. I did not get the camera set up. I just took a shot with my phone, a picture with my phone after the fact, and as you can see, 6.79. Before we move on, let's get organized and get all this information on our whiteboard. So we tested the Dakota Lithium 7 amp hour. This battery weighed in at 2 pounds, 4.3 ounces. We did 3 capacity tests on this battery, and we got 6.82 amp hours, 6.78 amp hours, and 6.79 amp hours. Cost-wise, this battery goes for about $10 an amp hour. And since it is a lithium iron phosphate battery, you can expect to get 2,000 charge-discharge cycles out of it. Our next battery is the Amped Outdoors 12 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery. This battery weighs in at 2 pounds, 9.8 ounces. Now this is the battery I like to use. I have these in my power boxes. It's a great all-around battery. It's super high capacity, 12 amp hours in the form factor, basically a deer feeder size battery. Down below in the description, I'll make sure to leave a link for each one of these batteries in case you guys wanted to pick one up. We're starting to see our voltage drop now. And there she is. She cut out 12.01 amp hours. Man, it doesn't get any closer than that. Okay, back to our whiteboard to write down what we learned about the amped battery here. This is a 12 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery that weighs in at 2 pounds, 9.8 ounces. And with our capacity test, we just snuck by with 12.01 amp hours. Retail price of this battery is $99.99. Divide that by 12 and it comes to $8.33 per amp hour. And once again, 2,000 charge-discharge cycles. For our third test, we are going to look at the Norsk 15 amp hour battery. This one comes in at 2 pounds, 4.4 ounces. Here we go. Now this battery here, I believe, is a lithium nickel manganese cobalt oxide, otherwise known as NMC. It's a little bit lighter than lithium iron phosphate. It's pretty common in power tools. The biggest drawback to this type of battery is the charge-discharge cycles. You're basically looking at the same lifespan as a sealed lead acid, around 400 or 500. Nominal voltage is 11.1 versus 12.8 with a lithium iron phosphate. The thing that impressed me most about this battery is it really hung in there. It's rated for 15 amp hours and it got damn near 16. Thumbs up there for capacity. All right, let's get our Norsk battery information up on our whiteboard. This battery weighed in at 2 pounds, 4.4 ounces. This is a 15 amp hour NMC battery. Did really well in the capacity test, 15.93. Cost wise, $150 for this battery, which is pretty steep. $10 an amp hour. The battery company did reach out to me when they found out I was doing this test, and they did tell me that they were going to drop the price to $100. But as of right now, the making of this video, the price is still $150, so that's the price I'm going with here. Also, the lifespan of this battery is not that good. Comparatively speaking, lithium iron phosphate has 2,000 charge-discharge cycles. This battery has 400. You're going to have to buy that battery 4 or 5 times, replace it 4 or 5 times before you need to replace the Dakota Lithium or the Amped Outdoors battery. All right, redemption time for Dakota Lithium. This is the 10 amp hour lithium iron phosphate. They're probably their most popular battery. One of the advantages this battery has over other batteries is you're able to wire this one in series for 24 volts. The guys that own Dakota Lithium, they're really big into electric bikes, and a lot of them are 24 volt systems. So they orient the BMS so you can wire it in series. And boom, 10. And back to the whiteboard with the Dakota Lithium 10 amp hour battery. This one weighs in 3 pounds, 0.2 ounces. Rated for 10 amp hours. Test results were 10.29, so it did really well. Passed first time. Price of this battery is $10 per amp hour, so this 10 amp hour battery will run you about $100. Now, since it is lithium iron phosphate, you can get 2,000 charge-discharge cycles out of this battery. And like I said before, this battery you can wire in series for 24 volt systems. Next up is the Nokwa 10 amp hour lithium battery. Now this is a favorite with many kayakers because of it's really small. You can put this thing about anywhere. When I first hooked it up, I let it charge overnight with the charger that came with it, and when I put it on the tester, it had 12.2 volts, which I thought was a little odd. Okay, let's break down the Nokwa 10 amp hour. This battery weighs 1 pound 8 ounces. It's rated for 10 amp hours, but we only got 8.61 out of it. We had a weird deal where we hooked it up tester, and it only had 12.2 volts after charging all night. The retail price of this battery is $130 per amp hour. We're looking at $13 per amp hour. Longevity wise, this is again not a lithium iron phosphate. We're looking at 400 discharge cycles. This battery will need to be replaced 4 or 5 times before you have to replace your Dakota or amped lithium iron phosphate batteries. All right, the last battery in this batch here to be tested is the Amped Outdoors 18 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery. This battery is pretty common in a lot of Garmin fish finders. This has the form factor of a 12 amp hour sealed lead acid, so a little bit bigger than your 12 amp hour or 7 to 10 amp hour lithium iron phosphate deer feeder size battery. And this thing just goes 18.06. You can see this thing weighs 3 pounds 14 ounces. Test results: 18 amp hour battery lasted 18.06. Retail price of this battery is $130, and that is $7.22 an amp hour. Capacity wise, also 2,000 charge discharge cycles. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them down in the link below, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.